thank you. I would like to dedicate this talk to my students who are always asking, why am I here? What should I be doing? And that question needs some context. And that context is that we're on a planet. And not any planet. We're on a planet amongst millions, billions, perhaps trillions of planets that's unique. Our planet has life on it. I mean, not just regular, I mean, it is teeming with life. And that's an amazing thing. And we're part of that life. All of us are part of that life. And the context of all of this is the things that make us us, right? What makes us us? Our atoms. Atoms, we have billions of atoms that make us us. And of those billions of atoms that make us us, it's quite interesting that one atom, let's just take the iron atom, you know, the iron atom that is in eggplant that makes your eggplant parmesan delicious. That iron atom took 1.5 billion years to make. And so the atoms in us take hundreds of millions, over 1 billion years, just to make the atom that makes us us. Fascinating. And then we have to put the context of life, right? You know, dinosaurs lived on Earth for more than 400 million years, which is amazing, you know, considering that we compare dinosaurs as close cousins. Oh, this dinosaur is a close cousin of that dinosaur. And they were only 267 million years apart. They're very close. In reality, we only live about 60 adult life years. So 60 years, adult years. We don't compare ourselves to something that existed 276 million years ago. We barely compare ourselves to something that lived 80 years ago or 90 years ago. The context is quite dramatic. Human civilization is only 10, 12,000 years old. So our life is really a fleeting moment, a whisk, a breath, a shudder of an eye. And that's the amazing thing, is we are here for such a brief period of time. And the insanity of it all is that we actually are doing this on a planet that's hurling through space at 440,000 kilometers an hour, rotating around a sun that's hurling through the universe at 800,000 kilometers an hour. It's hard to believe. Feels like we're standing still right now. So in this context, we can start to begin with, what should I be doing? Why am I here? Well, in reality, your life really isn't that important. Blink of an eye, it's gone. It's a big scheme of things. Who cares? But on the other context, you're part of life. And this life is continual. And so I had a couple hard years where I tried to face the reality of my death. Not as an opinion, not as a kind of thing to get out of, but something that is true. Literally, an inapproachable truth, a fact. I'm going to die. I'm dead. The day I was born. Like bringing in a snowball inside your house. The moment you bring that snowball inside your house, you know the fate of the snowball. And the moment I was born was the moment that I realized it's over. So my death is not a psychological fear. It literally is a fact. All our lives, all life, all our understanding leads to death. So we're all dead. And then I accepted 2 years of hard work, but I was like, you know what? I can die anytime. I can die anywhere, under any circumstances, and I'm totally fine with it. And I'm totally happy with it. That's a 10, 12-year process. And now that I accepted that I'm already dead, on the day I was born, it happened, I then began to understand something much deeper. And that's the statement, I am already who I need to be. And that's the thesis of this particular talk, is do you believe and will you believe that you are already who you need to be? Now, the death thing, that's a fact. No one's ever survived. There's no guy, down the street, let's call him Tom, who's lived 1.5 billion years, and he hangs out, and he plays cards with you, Thursday night. That doesn't happen, right? So everyone dies, that's life. You are already who you need to be. That's a thesis. That's something you need to discover. And there's 5 levels to that thesis. And I hope over the next 5 years you can, on your own, discover those levels by yourself. So if you believe me that you are already who you need to be, then this talk is going to go smoothly, the rest of it. And I win, and I accomplish my goal. If you don't believe that, then I've failed, and this talk is really kind of pointless for the rest of the way. So let's believe that you are already who you need to be. Now, that context means that you don't have to compare yourself to anything, anyone, any other context. It also means that you don't have to try or be or exert efforts. There's no trying. You are already perfect, beautiful, amazing, wonderful, at your core, by just your presence, by just being there, because you're alive. And that's pretty amazing. This planet is pretty amazing. It's teeming with life. And all life is just gorgeous. So those are the first 2 steps. I'm dead. My death is a fact. There's no way of getting out of that. Literally, there's no way of getting out of it. Nothing you can do. You can't moonwalk your way out of death. And then 2, that you are already who you need to be. Deeply, purely, surely. Once we get those 2 out of the way, then we can ask the question, who am I? What should I be doing? And those 2 questions are pretty easy at this point. That is your life's work. You should be doing your life's work. You're here to do your life's work. This is a process of your life's work and doing your life's work. So what is your life's work? Well, first off, and this is a beautiful part about your life's work, is it's your life's work, nobody else's. No one else can tell you how to do your life's work, tell you what you're doing wrong with your life's work, tell you how to improve your life's work, complain, judge, measure, talk down. The beauty of your life's work is only you can accomplish and know your life's work. Your life's work can only be measured at one point. There's no measuring your life work in terms of outcomes and goals, except at one period of time. And that's when you're 80 years old, your grandchildren are there, and somebody says, should we pull the plug? And you could look back at 40, 60 years, and you can look at all the things you've accomplished. And that is literally the only moment you can judge your life's work, or talk about your life's work in that way, or measure your life's work, or measure outcomes. And then you die. Now, your life's work all begins when you have accepted your death as a fact, which it is. So that should be easy. Hard, but easy. And then believe that you are already who you need to be. So how do you begin your life's work? Where do you start? Well, if you truly believe you are already who you need to be, then all you have to do is listen to yourself. Deep listening to who you already are, the beauty inside of you, the beauty that comes out of you, your inner baby. And knowing and listening to you, because you are already who you need to be, means that you just have to realize that you're doing your life's work and there are no choices. There are no choices at this point. Zero. So you are entering into a world of a choiceless life. Completely choiceless. You're listening and you are already who you need to be. And in that awareness and that moment-to-moment truth, you will be challenged every minute and every hour of the day. And your choice is simply, do I have the courage to do what I know I have to do right now? Do I have the courage to listen and then do what I have to do right now? There is no choice in that. There is no right or wrong or opportunity or lost opportunity. There's only the moment-to-moment reality, the presence of I'm scared. This is unknown. This is a dark place that I have to make known. This is a space I'm not comfortable in, that I have to go into, that I'm unaware of. And it's scary, and it's challenging. And it literally vibrates your bones. And it tingles your nerves. And it changes your perception. And this is what we call life. And that life means that you're part of life, all of life. Every insect, every bug, microbe, every piece of biology on earth, tree, branch. You're part of all of that. You breathe in the air, you exhale the air. That is when you're living. When you're already yourself, you're already dead, and you're listening, and you're aware. And there is, and this is so amazing, there is only your life's work. And with your life's work, there are no goals, there are no outcomes. You don't know what your goal is. You don't know what your outcomes are. You don't know what's going to happen. It literally unfolds like a book, page by page, your life does, in front of you. All you have to believe is you're the protagonist, and you don't know what's going to happen next. But you take that risk and you turn that page, and you go into darkness, and you go into the unknown. Now, you can hide. You could pretend you're not going to die. You could pretend that you have to be somebody else. You could pretend to be somebody bigger or lesser than others. You could also pull yourself out of life, isolate yourself with fear, psychological fear. You could try to be above life. You can do everything to get away from life, but that's just suffering. That's just misery. The only thing you have is the ability to accept that you are already who you need to be, begin to live, and then begin to listen. And your inner baby is going to tell you, we got to do this. This is what we got to do. And if you're listening, you already know what to do. If you're listening, you just have to have the courage to do it. And so, your life's work is an unfolding book where you don't know the answer, or the outcome, or the context, or why you're doing it. If you're scared, it's good. If you think that you're slightly crazy, better. If you think that it's all, no one's going to believe me, that's when you know you're on the right track. If it hurts, if it's a struggle, it doesn't matter. It's your life's work. It's not a fantasy. It's not escapism. It's not entertainment. It will be challenging. It will be hard. And it'll take 40 years, 60 years. And you're going to have to face yourself every day. And you're going to get jittery. And it's going to feel scary. And your heart's going to beat. But there's no choice. There's no choice when you live and you do your life's work. So I'm going to simplify, leave you with this. There are billions of people that have lived before you that you will never get to know. And there are billions, if not trillions of people who will live after you that will never know you. And this moment is your fleeting moment to express yourself, be yourself, and live your life's work and live yourself, your inner baby. Thank you very much.